Hello, Khaki. What's up? I'll answer anybody's dog-related questions. I'm sure there'll be some really stupid ones. Some really stupid people. This is sort of how it is. Yesterday we had somebody that got a Great Dane puppy at 4 weeks. Was petting it while it's eating. And the dog's growling at him and I can't figure out why. Taking the food away too, and petting him. This person had no business having a dog. So if you have any questions about dogs, I'll answer them. I'm drinking this because I gotta wake up. Then I gotta go down to pay my property taxes, which isn't gonna be fun, but I'm doing it. Don't really. I have enough to do it. Other than that, I don't know. Any dog-related questions? Oh, Ray Dude and Joanne are friends? Answer any of your dog-related questions. Let them rip. I do have to work with the dogs, but I'm doing this right now because I gotta wake up. I overslept. I was up late last night. Watched the new Dexter, which Dexter's kid is a psycho too, which that was predictable. It's a dark passenger, if you know what I mean. Fuck. Anybody need a good Christmas gift? Go buy something on Teespring. I wish I could afford a dog. Those are my exact sentiments. It's yeah. I can't post my Teespring link because my computer just died. I hear you, Gray Dude. When crate training a dog, can you describe the progression of steps until the dog is fully potty trained? How do I progress to the point where I'm no longer carrying the dog outside to do potty training? When you carry the dog outside when it's real young and it can't hold it, okay? So you keep taking the dog out and you don't take the dog to public places because it doesn't have all its shots. So you're carrying the dog out. We are talking about a puppy that's real young. But as they get older, they start, being able to hold it. And then what you're doing is leashing the dog and going right outside, not screwing around. It's the same thing. But you keep holding the dog so the dog doesn't have any accidents in the house. The more you take the dog out, the less you have to worry about holding the dog. If you're trying to make the dog, you got a puppy and you're only taking it out 3 or 4 times a day, you're a fool. They got to go out a lot. So, if you had just say you took out the puppy and it had gone to the bathroom Like you took it out in the morning, right when you got up. Then about an hour later, you're gonna take the puppy out. That would be a situation, and it's been like 2, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. So the puppies say 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 weeks or something. Then you could just leash the puppy and take the dog out. Your trick is not to let the dog have accidents. What is the biggest dog you've ever seen? Go away, kid. Clifford. Okay, Clifford. This guy's asking a serious question. You're asking nonsense. You sound like an idiot. So it really is building on success. Don't let the dog go in the crate, too. So you don't want the dog to go in the crate. Now here's something that's real important. After 8 o'clock, no water, no food or water past 8 o'clock. Okay? Do you understand? So if you give them water at like 10 o'clock, they're going to go to the bathroom in the crate or they're going to need to go out. So you really kind of make sure and be monitoring everything. Feed them at specific times. Going to go down to 2 feedings a day. That'll make it easier. So you're feeding the puppy twice a day. And also, this is very important. When crate training your dog, you want to use raw diet. Now, the reason why you want to use raw diet, even if don't use like Stella and Chewies. Don't use that because that's pet food. What you want to do is you want to smash chicken for the puppy. Smash it up with a hammer so it's like, like the adult dog had mastication had already taken place. They'll chew it. They'll even like vomit it up for the dog. So you can't give your puppy like a chicken leg quarter. You got to smash it up so it's like you can't even see what it, notice what kind of cut it is. But the reason why you do that is because pet food has a lot of filler in it, and the filler, expands in the dog and pushes out. Also, when you give your puppy dry dog food, it drinks a lot of water. All those things make it really hard to get the puppy housebroken. So to get the dog crate trained and housebroken, you want to do that. You want to smash up chicken, and you do not want to use kibble dog food or canned dog food. It's just going to make everything more difficult. Okay, so that's really key. Start putting the dog on the leash when you know the dog, and getting the dog outside, and don't screw around. Just it's let's go. But that's like after the dog is like functioning on the leash. And let me give you a hint. To get the puppy to function on the leash, put the leash on the puppy and let it drag the leash. A lot of puppies just like they're not used to leash, and they'll dig their heels in. Right? I don't want to walk. So put the leash on the puppy and let it drag it around the house. And you should always have your puppy on a leash in the house. Don't let it run around off leash. It's on leash or it's in the crate. You have control. That's how you're going to get your dog housebroken. And you should be able to get the dog housebroken by 13 weeks. Okay? If you're doing it right, lose sleep. If you're not losing sleep, it's a big mistake. Got a pigeon feather hanging up. Hang on. What is the best way to handle an aggressive dog that's got loose? I avoid eye contact and I don't react to it. Is it just making things worse? This is my neighbor's dog, happens all the time. It's a pretty good question. I don't you can avoid contact with a dog. Eye contact with a dog. This is true. Like most dogs, if you just leave them alone, they're going to leave you alone. But if you're getting in the dog's territory, I turn the tables and I get aggressive to the dog. That's a fact. Say no. No. If I'm with my dog, if I'm with a dog and I see a dog coming towards us, I get down low and make eye contact with it. So I'm low. I got the dog at heel next to me. We look huge. And I'm saying no, right? Also, pick up a stick or something like that, and you got that makes your arm, that makes you look bigger. Get the fuck out of here, dog. Also, this keeps happening by dog mace. Okay? You squirt that dog once, it's gonna know what it is. And then if it tries it again, I've seen mailmen use it, you can just spray it down close to the dog. They just get a little bit in the air, they are gone. They are gone. That is not the same thing as pepper spray for a human. You have to use dog mace, okay? That'd be an easy way to do it. If it happens all the time with your neighbor's dog, you have that in your pocket, you spray it down there, that'll get the dog to get out of there. Try that. Keeps happening. It's a little tiny thing. Squirt. No. Squirt. Okay? It's not gonna do any damage, permanent damage to the dog, and the dog is gonna learn you're not to be fucked with. And when it sees you, like it sees the mailman that does that, it will not fuck with you. So it's a totally different product than pepper spray for a human. It's called dog mace. I didn't know dog mace was a thing. I will look for it. You can buy it on Amazon. Maybe Chewy has it. Dragging the dog who digs in. When I do that, she seems to dig in harder, and I've noticed she's digging into the point where her paws were slipped. Man, I can't train your dog for you, okay? That's what I do with my dog, with a dog that's doing that. You go forward, man. Don't be turned around doing that. I bet that's what you're doing. Looking at the dog. Come on. No, it's come on, walk. Walk, 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 walk. Slightly bleeding. You're doing it wrong then. You know, you are just doing it wrong. Doesn't happen with me. Maybe you ought to get the dog, put the leash on the dog and let it drag around the house, okay? And then take the dog into the grass and walk it. You're doing this to the dog. Walk it and go forward. No, hang on, I'll be right back. No, no, knock it off, man. You knock that shit off. Hey! Stop that. Stop that bullshit in my fucking house. What's the matter with you? No. No. No, I don't cut into that shit, poodle. Put this on, man. I'm not doing that, dude. You know I don't do that shit. Find your fucking collar. I'm not doing that, man. No! You fucking... Hey! Put your thing on right now. No, we do not do that here. That is rude. Rude, rude. Put this on. Put this one on. This is better than nothing, and I can't find your fucking collar. Do not bark in any house anymore. I don't care if somebody's barking back there. You don't bark, okay? Hang on. Fucking hair's first crazy. Hang on. Clearly I took your shit off more. Hang on, I'll be right back. Hey, who is doing that BS? You know I didn't cut that shit. What's doing that? Back it off. I don't know what I do with the stuff. Puppy? But you're not a puppy. Now you be quiet, right? We don't do that anymore, do we? slightly bleeding. What the fuck do you people do? Seriously, what is the matter with you people? Slightly bleeding. Puppy's digging in. Don't be doing this. Don't do this. Okay? Jesus, motherfucking Christ. This is on a puppy. Puppy's digging in. You are going this way. The puppy's back there digging in. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Watch this again. Right? Puppy, you're going this way. Your head is this way. Your body's going this way. Puppy's digging in. Do not do this. Don't drag it. Don't drag it like that. Look at what I'm doing. Come on, let's go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Did you get it? Jesus Christ. Try it on grass, too. I'm sorry, I just don't understand what's the matter with people. Like, it's like going down the steps. Can your puppy go down the steps yet? Don't sit there and wait. Come on, let's go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Can it go up the steps? So many dogs come here. I've seen dogs that are 6, 7, 8 months old that won't go up and down the steps. Oh, the puppy's afraid. Move the puppy. You know? Maybe try doing it on not concrete. I don't know. Your puppy's paws were sort of bleeding. Give me a break. What are you people doing, man? Ask another question, someone. So it was the landlord changing his mind as well, not Foxy. He was settled on a contract. It's currently 34 out in Massachusetts, and I'm stuck inside working. Thanks for the entertainment. Keep my mind off of possible frost. Slightly bleeding. Come on, Ryan. Ryan Sheehan. I've never had that happen, but I've also never given a dog raw diet and it gets diarrhea. So, if you have your dog on raw chicken and your dog has diarrhea, you're doing something wrong. Bone-in chicken, it's like impossible to go wrong, but people do it anyway. I don't know. They overfeed the dog. I don't, wide variety of things. People are idiots. But the landlord's not going to do it, PL. What are you going to do? Didn't Foxy already give didn't he already give a deposit? I'll be honest with you. And the property inspection, but the birds will be allowed in after 1 month? I'd be like, whoa, what am I supposed to do for a month? And, we got to wait for 1 month? I wouldn't be doing it. I would not be doing that. No way, man. I'd be flipped out. I'd be like, you got to be kidding me. I'm just telling you what I would do. I say that's ridiculous, too toxic. I would be so flipped out. And because he had tenants and let dogs shit all over the house. Those aren't dogs, they're pigeons, and they shit, but you know how they shit. They can shit on underneath a roost, and it's, I won't move in yet. That's wise. Fuck it. And, I'm going to say this. I don't know Foxy. You like him, or you're in love with him. But as soon as, say it was, I'm trying to put myself in that position. Say me and Destiny were renting. We didn't have this shithole. And we had to rent. And we were moving into a place, and Destiny was into reptiles. Okay? And she had, snakes. And then the landlord found out that she had snakes. And we had already given a deposit, right? I said, no, you can't bring snakes in here. And then I would never say to Destiny, I'm sorry, but you can't bring in reptiles. The landlord said, you can't have reptiles, so you're gonna have to get rid of them or call a. Do you know what I'm saying? I would be like, well, we can't move in there. We're screwed. Let's try and get the deposit back and move someplace else, or do something. We got to come up with some money. We can't move in that place. The landlord's being a dick. He doesn't want the reptiles. But Destiny doesn't keep reptiles. No, Destiny's really into rats and mice. Right? The landlord doesn't want the rats and the mice because he's afraid they're going to go wild. But in England, they're not allowed to say no unless he provides a legal reason. It wasn't Foxy. He was arguing with the landlord. Well, then, I don't understand why that wasn't fully explained, but, I mean, I'll go with that. I don't know Foxy. You do. You've known him for 4 years. And the landlord has to give a response in 28 days. And didn't you say that the pigeons were going to be someplace like an aviary in the backyard? Isn't that what you were going to do? Like most of them are like, don't you have like a shed or something you're making into some kind of aviary because they're, and then you'll have like some inside, but the majority of them, like the ones that you're doing, Purdy would be inside or something. Outside aviary, I don't see what the problem is. And then so what? Like, your ones that are pets are inside, right? You're talking about, a couple of, 2 or 3 birds, right? Is that what you're going to do? So there's an outside aviary for the wild ones that you care for, that you try and get better, and then your pets, right? Pretty inside, and yeah, two pigeons inside. That's not excessive. Didn't you have some kind of method of like, don't you put something on the floor to make it easier to clean up? Didn't you tell me this, that you put like something to sweep up or like litter or something underneath the roost? Did you tell me that? Didn't you say something like that? Like when you had them all in that one apartment, weren't you using some kind of litter of some kind and you put it down where you knew that they went? Sand on the floor of the housing. Sand, really. Sand works, and then you sweep up the sand, which gets heavy, and wood chip in the aviary. So you just throw wood chip or sand down underneath the roost. Kids play sand. So you don't put it on heavy, I guess. It dries the poop out. I see. So you don't put it on heavy. You put it on sort of light, and that way it's not making contact really with the floor, and then it dries out the poop, and then it's easier. You just sweep it up underneath the roost. Yeah, it causes airflow underneath it so that it dries it out. I see. I remember you saying that. I haven't tried that, but I'm gonna try that. Like, make a roost, like an inch covering. I see. And then you just sweep that up every week or so. I see. I might try that with Sam too. I had a rain gutter underneath Sam's roost, and it worked pretty good. I'd put like litter in it, and then Destiny was coming, so I moved the rain gutter because the rain gutter needed to be cleaned, and then I haven't put it back. It's been sort of a mistake because now it's happening again. He's just going on the floor underneath the roost. I might try just putting sand underneath his roost and sweeping up the sand. That might be a solution for Sammy too. Or just use maybe litter. Cat litter is clay. That would work too, I would assume. That's what I had in the rain gutter thing, Every day I can sieve the sand, and then after 2-3 weeks, just take the whole sand out. I'm not going to sieve the sand. I just know I got my hands full, man. I got 2 dogs here right now, and I have dogs coming, it sounds like, in January. So I got a month of we got a month of being pretty broke, and then I'll start really being overworked. But so I got to get shit done this month of December, because if it doesn't get done, it's really going to be hard to get done in January. You know, because the trick is to be organized. So like now I'm putting e-collars on in the morning so that there's less craziness with the dogs. Like Destiny let the dogs out this morning. That's a huge help. It's a huge help to like have somebody else, like, because like each time you let them out, I get stuck there for like, you know, a half hour, 40 minutes letting dogs out, and it's like, it's time. It's like time. You got a cold? No, not really. What I have is from going inside and outside the house is barking a whole lot less. Inside and outside the house, because it's cold here, that irritates my sinuses, right? And then I come inside, and then I have, you know, instead of having outdoor stuff during the summer that's outdoor allergies, the indoor allergies are sort of exacerbated because my sinuses are irritated because I'm constantly going cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot. Last night I fucking screamed at fucking Harley real loud because she was being non-compliant. I was trying to take out the mask, and I was really fucking tired. I just wanted it fucking done. It's like, God fucking damn it, Harley, get the fuck in your fucking crate. You know, sent her the biggest pressure wave I could. She did get back in the crate. But it's like, I was just fucking, right at Harley. I gotta stop for the day, Harley. You know, like that. And that's when I did this, I think. So it's a combination, cold, not a cold, I'm not sick, just, right? No, I'm fine. I also took some Flonase. So the Flonase starts, you know, I got to take the Flonase so that my sinuses don't get irritated. Does that make sense? But I don't take it. I forget to take it, and then yesterday I'm like, last night I was laying in bed like, man, why don't you get up and take Flonase, right? Did I do it? No. So this morning I took the Flonase. I get that too, but I'm going from heated truck for at least a half an hour to about 6 minutes to back outside. Oh yeah, same shit. So it causes your nose to like sort of run. It's not infected or anything. That's what it is. So I took the fucking Flonase. Anybody got any dog questions? I didn't mean to go off on you, Ryan, but I mean, come on. I hope the description was good. You understand? You're going forward. You're not turned around dragging it. You're how you should be going forward, and there's like some of this action. Get the dog moving. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Like, hear my voice? Come on, let's go. Come on. You aren't doing it with your body. You are not turned around with the dog going, come on, let's go. You don't do that. You're going forward this way. The dog's back there digging in. Come on, let's go. And you're talking like that. It works like a charm. Your paws were kind of bleeding. I don't know what you people do. But I was living in Brooklyn. I never had puppy's paws bleeding. I don't know what you people do. I don't know how or why. I know why. I like dogs. I think they're the most awesome animal on the planet, except for Destiny. She heard that. I don't want her to think I'm whipped. Right? But I think that I like my cats too. What do you think about dogs playing poker? I like the whole series. I do. I think that's fucking great. I love those. Several people have done those paintings. I think that they're awesome. Some of my favorites. That's some of my favorite shit, to tell you the truth. My favorite breed of dog. Would you, kid? I don't know. The favorite breed of dog is the one I'm working with at the time. They're all the same to me. Oh, hang on. What should you do when your dog gets scared of thunder and can't block out the noise? Oh, that's a good question. There's one of my favorite animals right there. Right there. Destiny. Okay, so your dog is afraid of thunder. One, your dog should be in a crate, because what happens is the dog gets freaked out and it goes underneath a couch, underneath a bed, hiding behind the couch. It's terrified. So if you're somewhere, it should be on a leash, because if you don't, that dog is going to run. It's going to get barn sour and freaked out. So you're at home. Do you crate your dog? Do you have a dog crate for your dog? If you don't, you are an idiot, because that is how you deal with that. Same thing with fireworks. You crate the dog on 4th of July. That's the number one day that more dogs go to the emergency room. People put them in their backyard. They're so flipped out, they climb the fences, and then they're running around and get hit by a car. So your dog is afraid of thunder. You should be crating the dog. This is something else. Never, ever console that dog that is flipped out with thunder. Do not do this like, oh, it'll be okay, or start petting the dog and saying, oh, it'll be okay. Don't ever do that. Put the dog in a crate and ignore it, or tell it to knock it off. Knock that off. It's shaking or something. Knock that fucking off, man. I'm just telling you. That's how it is. I had Tatiana. I cured Tatiana years ago. I had Tatiana. She was so flipped out with thunder. Females have a tendency to sort of be more commonly flipped out with thunder. I think there's some kind of thing like the storm is coming. I got to get the puppies back in the den. I don't know. They seem a little bit more stressed out with it. But males can have it. Females can have it. And humans don't help it because they don't use crates. They let the dog run around the house, gaining forward momentum, just screwing the dogs up. I go house to house cleaning pools and hot tubs, and sometimes owners have their dogs outside, and obviously I'm a new face. Any tips keeping one from jumping on me? Yeah, say no. No, don't let them jump on you. Lift your knee and block them. Say no, but be preemptive. Ask the owners, are there any dogs out there? Because if they are, I need to clean the pool. I'm not about I like dogs, but I don't need to deal with this. I'm working. Can you keep your dog inside? That's what I would do. Dogs shouldn't be out there. You're cleaning the pool. You're the pool cleaner. Tell them it'd be great if you took care of the dog so I can go back there and do my job. If you come anytime during the day, maybe, you need to tell them. But that's what I would do. You shouldn't be going in somebody's backyard with the dog running around anyway. That's a good way. You open the gate, the dog takes off, it's going to be your responsibility. There should be no dog in the backyard when you're cleaning the pool, flat out. You are not the dog sitter. You don't need to be petting strangers' dogs. You're going to cause problems, even if the owner doesn't know this. Okay? If it's an aggressive dog, you wouldn't go back there, right? You shouldn't go back there with a big doofus golden that's going to jump on you, because each time it jumps on somebody, it's just being conditioned to jump. My friend has a Shiba Inu. He's a sweet dog, just always scared, hiding by himself. Is there any way we make him more comfortable and open up? Yeah, it's called obedience training. You're not going to be able to do it because you're on a dog trainer's chat, live stream, asking that question. That is exactly how you do it. So you see dogs when they first come here, then you see dogs at the end. They're all into it. That's it. Why are you saying ha ha? I just told you the truth. I told you the exact truth and you think it's funny. Why didn't you go LOL? We force him to love us. You're the problem. You're the problem. You are the exact reason in your friend that dog is a mess. One, they don't love. Okay, that's a complex human emotion. You're forcing yourself upon that dog. It's a fucking Shiba, idiot. Thank you, Toxic. It's a Shiba. They're not like that, okay? They're not gregarious like a Labrador, but you shouldn't be hugging the Labrador either. Dogs don't like that, man. You caused this with the dog. And then I give you the answer and you go, ha ha. Thank you, Toxic. Toxic knew. Toxic knows. She's a dog trainer. She's like, yeah, this person's an idiot. They have no idea what they're talking about. And you were also rude. Will you please answer my question? And then when I did, ha ha. It's funny that I say you should train the dog, isn't it? That's hysterical. Are you kidding me? We have to train the dog? We just want it to, we force it to love us. They don't love. They can like you. They don't love, okay? When you see the excited dog, it's excited. It's not loving. It doesn't love you, okay? It's excited. I'm serious. I don't know how. No, I do. We have 4 million dogs dying every year in the United States because of people like this. You think a dog's to be petted and shit? Think about if you had a partner that was all over you all the time, right? Couldn't pick up on your signals, like they're still coming at you. You would be resentful. You'd be like, fucking give me some space. That's what your dog's doing. That's what this dog is doing. You're not getting it that dogs don't like to be hugged, one. Dogs don't always want you to touch them. You don't get it. I've heard it before. Dogs are meant to be petted. Well, not if they're not yours and not if they're not into it. Unearned affection, as Sherry Lucas says, is one of the worst things for a dog. So Sherry Lucas is really good at like management of dogs, right? That's her forte. And telling people not to do this and to do that. That's what she does. That's one of the wisest things I've ever heard out of Sherry's mouth is unearned affection is the worst thing you can do for your dog, and it's true. People just like, oh, I'm just gonna give it a treat just for the hell of it, or I'm just gonna go up and start petting it indiscriminately. Sherry's wise about shit like that. I mean, a good 85% of the owners are great. No, they aren't. Are great and keep their dogs inside, but there are a small few that just keep them outside. Most don't attack ever, but I do have dog treats in my dashboard to calm them down. You should not be doing that. You should not be giving any dog that is not yours treats. You don't know if that dog has medical conditions, and when you do that, you could be giving the dog the shits. You need to stop that. You need to leave everybody's dogs alone. They're not your friends. They shouldn't be in the backyard. You shouldn't be dealing with them. Okay? Don't give treats to people's dogs. I would be livid. If I went outside and saw, and people have done it. I was in Brooklyn once with a dog, and there was a guy that like bent down to give him the rest of his sandwich. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Don't be giving treats to the dog. It's not your job. It's not your dog. That dog could have serious health issues. You don't care. I understand you're trying to get your job done. I get it. But you're not supposed to be doing that. And if the owners don't know that, you should. You're the one dealing with the stranger's dogs. You should not have to deal with them at all. That's a fact. You're going in their backyard, man. It's not your job to make sure that the dog doesn't get out. If something happens to the dog and you've been there, they're going to blame you, dude. They are going to blame the pool guy. You're making a big mistake taking that approach. This is the honest to God truth. If it's an exuberant dog that's jumping on you, you make no eye contact with it and you just walk through. It's probably not going to jump on you. But see, this is the problem why it's jumping on you. It's because you're giving it treats and you're interacting with it. A dog like that, they just leave you alone. Don't make any eye contact, just walk by it and ignore it. The dog will like you just fine. The dog is disrespecting you when it jumps on you. And you're causing a, oh, how you doing, buddy? Don't talk to it. You're supposed to be doing your job, aren't you? Your job is not interacting with these people's dogs. And they're jumping on you. You're already saying that they're jumping on you. So you make no eye contact and you walk through. That is a fact. When I was driving a cab, I'd help people with their packages in their house. There was a dog. No problem. I just not make eye contact with the dog. They will not screw with you. You look at them in the eye, bend down, interact with, how you doing, buddy? You're causing this. Why are you taking treats? You're conditioning the dog to be excited when it sees you. And then you're asking that question. This is not your job to be doing this. And you have no right feeding anybody's dog anything. And if anything happens and you've been back there, it's going to be your fault. Is there any specific breed that has a higher healing energy? Man, remove that crap. I don't want to see this. Higher healing energy? What in the name of Reiki are you talking about? Okay? They're all the same. If you get an oxytocin from one dog, you're probably going to get one from the next. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Toxic. But you can let Richie stay, Toxic. Richie can stay, but that's nonsense, okay? That's mumbo jumbo bullshit. They're all the same. Okay? They're all the same. I understand I got sober with dogs, okay? I got sober with dogs. It wasn't a specific breed. It just happened to be a Labrador and a Chesapeake Bay. Did they help me get sober and have dogs? Let me tell you something about dogs. I might not be here because of dogs. So I understand what you're saying. There were times that I wanted to leave. Man, I wanted to leave this fucking planet and I couldn't because I was stuck here because of my pets. I was stuck here. This life is miserable. My life is miserable at times. I'm miserably broke. It's difficult, and I know a lot of you in here are the same way. You got to wake up and work, and you're tired, and you got to do it. You got to do it anyway. Maybe I'll make a penny while I'm live streaming, so I get on here and do it. It's tough. Life is tough. And there were times I didn't want to get out of bed, but I had to get up and take the dogs out. They kept me moving. You're depressed. You got to get up. You got to get the dogs out. You know, I'm telling you, I understand what you're saying, but it's about like somebody needs you. Somebody fucking needs you. It's your pet. You can't leave the planet. It's not time to leave. You're stuck here because what happens to them? They go with who? They go into a shelter, into the system, and they're screwed. Yeah, dogs keep you on a schedule. They keep you alive. That's right. Thank you, Toxic. Dogs give Toxic purpose. They've impacted my life. You know, I wouldn't have gotten sober if it was just me, but I had to get sober. They depended upon me. I still have animals that depend upon me. I can't have a life where I go on a vacation because I have dogs. My whole life centers around taking care of pets. They depend upon me. If I'm gone, what's going to happen? Pigeon Lady, the same thing, man. She's like, the birds depend upon her. If she's not there, That bird's gonna die. It is. It's gonna. That sick bird underneath the bridge is dead. If it doesn't get on a moxie or metronidazole or something, she knows it. So that's why she's helping out. It's like there's no reason for that bird to die. All it needs to do, maybe it's got salmonella or something. All it needs is some antibiotics, and it could, you know, what's the sense of a useless death? When it's just like, okay, so it got salmonella. Let's correct its salmonella, and it could be released. But yeah, I understand your, but no, I listen, I'm not a person that believes in Reiki. I think it's all BS, okay? But recently I did tell a story about this woman, Julia McLean in Kansas City, who was a psychic healer, who seemed to be right in with like my issues. She knew, she called me in New York City. How are you doing? Like that. I said, not real good. She's the person that said, when I said it couldn't get any worse, she said, it can always get worse. It can always get worse. So I think that some people are real intuitive, right? She's very intuitive. She bought a painting from me when I really fucking needed it. I needed money bad, man. I was at the end of my rope. I was about ready to quit drinking. I didn't have fucking shit. I was sicker than shit. She gave me hope, man. She gave me hope. Like, sending me a check for like $200 or something. Plus like, like $40 to ship it or something. I have some of those qualities, but I think of it as being intuitive, sort of, because to say somebody's psychic, that's inferring that, no logic is used, or they're not taking any outside stimuli. It's all just like some kind of psychic energy. I just don't think that that's why I can predict certain things, right? That has nothing to do with it. Like I'm picking stocks again, and I've done it before. And the reason why I picked certain stocks, I don't think was that I was psychic. I was interested in biotechs, and I'd read it and I'd be like, that makes sense. So I had a portfolio that went 2,500%, which is unheard of. But it was not because I was psychic. It's because I got like, oh yeah, I got to do that one, like that. Or like I'm watching a movie I've never seen and I know the next scene, but as an artist, it's sort of, there's no original thought, okay? There's no original thought. So I'm watching a movie, I know the next scene, even though I haven't seen the movie, because it's sort of predictable how a writer would write, because I can write. Even if I'm like making a painting, I'm making a scene. So it's like sort of like a human being might think like, it's rare that I would see a movie where I'm like, oh, I didn't expect that. Do you know what I'm saying? So the whole psychic thing, I'm not so sure that, I don't know, maybe there's a little bit of that, and there's the other part that's just like sort of a logical choice or something. Like if somebody put boxes in front of me and put an object under the box, brought me into the room, and I had to pick which box it was, I wouldn't be able to do it. I don't think I'd be able to do it. That'd be an indication that somebody was psychic, like they could, So that whole Reiki mumbo jumbo, I'm sorry if you believe in Reiki. And with that said, if you believe in Reiki and it works for you, keep doing it, okay? Because there's nothing like the power of positive thinking. It's better than negativity, okay? So if you believe something, that's great. Like religion. Like I'm not, like all of these religions on earth just don't make any sense to me. Like all these things that humans have like dreamed up to explain mortality or things they don't understand, they don't make any sense to me. So I can't, none of them. But if it works for you, great. If you're like a if you're Catholic and Catholicism works for you, keep it. Or you're into you're a Wiccan, and that those earth religions work for you, fucking keep it. I don't give a shit. It's not right for me. Oh, that water's good. I can't wait to pay my property taxes off today. Well, they're not gonna be off, but I'm gonna be like, they can't foreclose. I agree with you. Yeah, okay. Heard that you said about not feeding them edible treats, but I mean like a chew toy. My dachshund, I think you said, has a whole can of tennis balls. My bad miscommunication, just my vocabulary. About not feeding them edible treats, but I meant like a chew toy. Well, there's only one chew toy that I ever recommend, and that would be a deer antler or elk antler. So if you're looking for something to chew on, because the dog maybe get a little bit of it and it's just a little bit of calcium, but if you give them a bone, they have a tendency to start trying to crunch like a femur. They can bust their teeth. Also, they can get the marrow out and the beef around it and give them diarrhea. Also, you give them something like that can create a lot of problems, meaning they'll start guarding it because it has such a high value. So you leave it in the crate and you walk by the crate and then the dog's guarding shit. We have a dog back there, baby, who's sweet as can be, but had guarding issues, and I know her mom was giving her bones because when I took baby, she gave me one of the bones. But I haven't been given baby bones, and I explained it to baby's mom, and I don't think she's gonna do that anymore either. You create the dog that has guarding issues. They're not born like that, generally speaking. Some dogs, might be, but generally speaking, if it's not doing it and then it's doing it, you've created it. Even with a puppy, man, if you're giving it like something to chew on and it's growling, you need to take it away and not give it to it. And one other thing, don't ever pet the dog that's chewing on a bone or eating. We already went through this yesterday. You're just gonna flip the dog out. Don't be yanking a bone away from it like that. If you want to teach the dog an out command, okay, that's good. That's a good thing to teach your dog, right? Or your dog has problems like eating chicken bones. You teach it not to eat chicken bones, and you also teach it, a drop command. Drop, get that out of your mouth. An e-collar is hugely helpful, but you have to use it right. If you don't know how to use it, What's sleep? You don't sleep, man? My Ralphie's definitely fruit driven. I want to break him out of it. Don't give people food, Rahel. It ain't a goat. A dog's not a goat. What's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. So, Rahel, if you're working with your dog that's food motivated, those dogs could be just as motivated with play. Just stop giving all treats. They eat twice a day, and that's it. And move it into good boy or something like that, Remy and Soul are upstairs. I can't do that right now. I'm answering dog questions. So maybe soon. Maybe soon. I'm trying to be responsible and help people. So Khaki the duck is here. You didn't ask to see Khaki. Madam Pigeon. Are you related to the Pigeon lady? You are, aren't you? All right, is she like your cousin? Take some magnesium. Listen to her. She's like the homeopathic. You work in the fucking vitamin store. Right, Khaki? Khaki. I went. you know, you can't get melatonin over the counter in Europe, evidently, but you can get it in the United States. Occasionally, if I have a real problem sleeping, I'll take melatonin. That crap wipes me out, man. You could tell me about the different types of drives. I'd appreciate it a lot if you could tell me tell me about the different types of drives. Let me explain drive. Drive is what the wild dog uses to go kill that prey. Drive. Drive is what gets me up in the morning and keeps me going and keeps me with a work ethic to the point where I'm exhausted at the end of the day. That's drive. That's a drive to succeed. Drive is what keeps me going, not fucking leaving this stupid planet. You know, this is rough here. It's rough. That's drive. So with your dog, drive, you should think of that as it's not its prey drive, but its play drive. So we manipulate the drive in dogs, domestic dogs. You don't just let the dogs not think, but function instinctually, because that's all bad. Once again, you'd be talking about prey drive in dogs, right? You don't want the dog to kill, so you manipulate the drive. So an example of that would be the bird dog, like Tonka. His drive is manipulated to the point where he finds the prey, he stops and goes into point. So his prey drive is to find the bird and stop so that I can know where to walk up and get it. He's alerting me it's right there. But with like a Labrador, it stops right at the bite. Like, go get it and bring it over. It's not chewing it. It's not doing anything. The Labrador is putting the food in its mouth. It's finding the food and bringing it over to me and releasing it to my hand. That's drive. That's a manipulated drive. And then there are drives with like protection dog, like a Malinois, where its prey drive is sort of increased. The bite has been manipulated to the point where it's controlled. It has an out command, right? They get the command. You work the dog on the sleeve and teach it an out command. That's drive. That's all drive. We manipulate the prey drive in dogs. That's what dog training's about. So if your dog has a lot of drive, right, like Tonka, he's just not going to stop until he finds it. That's a dog with a lot of drive. Okay? A dog that doesn't have a lot of drive will give up. Tonka's more keyed into like this rawness of being a dog. You know, that's how he was bred. His father was like that. Stoney was like that. So some dogs have more drive, so I don't need that much drive as I do in Tonka. But some dogs have more drive, and like if you had a house dog, all you need is a dog with less drive, but too many people are interested in how the dog looks. Is the dog cute? They're not considering how much drive it has. And most dogs, because they're a subspecies of the wolf, have drive. That's still in there. A Jack Russell has a lot of drive. They're born, and within 4 or 5 months, they can kill a rat. That's drive. That dog is just naturally has a lot of drive to kill. But there's no reason that the dog has to be like that with training. So your Jack Russell doesn't have to be on the flexi lead in the park and going and chasing squirrels, but people think that that's what the dog is supposed to do. No, it's your job as the human to manipulate the drive so that the dog can function in a human world. And that is not letting the Jack Russell chase squirrels up a tree. Did that help? Did that help you? No problem. You're welcome. Khaki. Khaki's so cute. She is. I'm glad I could help some of you all. It's, this is my job. It's weird, but this is my job. I did start the YouTube channel with the intention of helping dogs. That's why I did it. And I figured I could put art out on the channel because like 2008, I lost money. I lost money. I actually had some money. And that was why I started the channel, was that like, how could I impact dogs? Maybe I could on YouTube, but still we see Zach George out there, and just people that are, you know, you can, you know, jack up your views on YouTube, right? By paying Google money, you can promote your videos, so there's people that look like they're actually, and you can buy subs and shit. And then somebody sees that and they're like, oh, this guy must know what he's talking about. You know, some of this got, like, say they got a facility with dog training or something. And then they're influencing people. But then there's people like Zach George. I don't know how Zach George got like that. How he became like the, you know, he's got so many subs, like out of all the dog trainers on YouTube. Like, he's horrible. And then there's chicks, of course, that are dog trainers on YouTube. If you're an attractive woman, you start putting out videos on anything, you get views. You could be the most vapid woman in the entire world. But guys are gonna watch it. It's weird. It's sort of weird. Well, it's not that weird, but it's real weird. If I was me, right, listen to me, but I was abroad, you know, my YouTube channel would be huge, I would imagine, but I was a hot broad, right? So like if Destiny gets to the point where she can talk about dogs like I can, she looks like that, watch out. I'm an attractive guy, thanks. I'm an old guy. I mean, seriously. I mean, we'll do a video with her, and there's an extra 500 views on there. You know, dog training video. There's extra 400 views on there just because she looks the way she does, because she's gorgeous. It's just advertising. You know, it is. It's advertising. But I mean, it's weird. I don't see. That's what I don't understand about Zach George. I think he appeals to children. Like, if you watch him, like, he's telling people what they want to hear. One, and he sort of says things that I think kids want to hear. And he sort of talks like he's like the nursery school teacher or something. I think that, like, a lot of kids were like, yeah, go see it, you know, and then it just sort of rolled. But he's like one of the more incompetent people that works with dogs. He's really incompetent and says, like, the excited dog is the smart dog. No, it's excited, stupid. An excited dog is hard to deal with because they bark, lunge, bite, or just don't listen. But he doesn't say that. He tells you that because excitement is very common in dogs. You can jack up any dog. So a lot of these dogs that end up in animal shelters, they have a problem, right? They're not trained and they get excited. And he's telling people, oh, don't worry about it. You have a great kind of dog. An excited dog is a smart dog. What the fuck are you talking about, Zach? There's a lot of people in the dog world that are not helping. They're making matters worse. Cesar Millan's show. Totally unrealistic. Totally unrealistic. Most of those dogs, man, my friend worked for that show, okay? So I know about the success rate after he leaves. It's an edited TV show where where he gets bit all the time. He gets bit like every other show or every show. The last time I was bit was about 20 years ago. I was breaking up a dog fight. Dog trainers don't get bit. Good ones do not get bit. He's not a dog trainer. He's a dog whisperer, which is something he stole from Buck, the horse whisperer. That's branding. It's about branding with him. People like him because he's got those super blue-white teeth. He's charismatic. So they like him, and there's action in that show. He might get bit. That's why people watch it. It's exciting. And they think that they might learn something about dogs, but all he's doing is talking about sort of management of the dog. Like, he doesn't teach any dog commands. Sit down, whoa, here, heel, kennel, taught is implied stays. He does not do that. Fuck, I've seen that show maybe 10 times, 11 times. And each time I've seen it, it seemed like there were times that he wasn't using a leash. And when he'd use a leash, he's not using a leather leash, which is absurd. Everybody should be using, if you're trying to train your dog, you need a 6-foot leather obedience leash. That's it. And then as the dog gets better at it, you can make use a thinner leash, like a leash that's 6-foot leash for a puppy. But leather has the correct weight and action to be able to give a correction. And using a nylon leash, that's fucking nonsense. But people don't know that. And you see Milan doing it. He uses these really cheap, like, slip leads. Like, what the fuck? You can't tell them. What is it all about sales, Caesar? He was selling wee-wee pads. I don't know if he still does, but wee-wee pads are a scourge. Wee-wee pads, people use these with a puppy because it says it's a training aid, and people don't know. It trains your dog to go to the bathroom in the house. So you're bringing in something that has a pheromone on it that smells like shit and piss to the dog. So you're telling the dog to shit and piss in the house, where you should be losing sleep for about 3 weeks and getting your dog outside. The first 3 or 4 days are going to be hell, but it starts getting better. That's why people pay me to fucking deal with their puppies. Pad training is horrible. People that do that, especially with the small dogs, they end up doing it for their whole life. So Milan and these companies that sell this stuff, they just make money off these people, and then their dogs are shitting in the house the entire life. Like you run across these people with certain breeds that think it's okay, like an Italian Greyhound. Like, they teach the dog to be litter box trained. There were these pugs in Brooklyn. This is when I had a pet service. I dropped this person after 2 months. I couldn't take it anymore. He had 2 pugs. It was weird seeing. He was living with his sister, right? But it was always like, one time they were sleeping in the same bedroom. I don't know. It was weird. So he's living in Brooklyn with his sister, and they have these 2 pugs. It was such a weird scene, him and his sister. Like, they were it seemed like they were dating, and I'm not exaggerating. There was more than one bedroom. They were trust fund kids, but they would sleep in a room together. And they weren't necessarily dressed, because the door would be open and you could see, like, bare shoulders and shit. So that was weird, but the problem is the pugs were litter box trained. And I'd go in there and it'd be summer and I'd be wearing shorts, or one of the employees would be in there. Same thing, it's Brooklyn, it's hot, wearing shorts. And the dogs would jump on you, these cute little pugs. And they'd been in the litter box, so they're getting this fucking shit on your fucking legs. This piss and shit on your legs, man. I did it for like 2 months, and I told the guy, I said, man, I'm sorry, we got to drop you. I can't. This makes sense. He He just wanted the dogs out once a day, so he had my service come over there to take the dogs out. Other than that, they were litter box trained so they could go party. They could go out to the bars. So you take them outside, they didn't even go to the bathroom. But you come home, you come in their house and they're jumping on you with their fucking shitty paws. They were cute little pugs that didn't need to be like that. It's horrible. It was horrible. I said, man, I'm sorry, we got to drop you as a client. I just, your dogs are litter box trained, and I told him, I said, I just don't agree with this. They don't even go to the bathroom when we take them out. We're just taking them outside once a day. I'm sorry, I don't agree with this. I told the employee that was going over there a lot, he goes, thank God. And then he goes, what was up with him and his sister? That's what he said. I'm like, I don't know. You saw that too? He goes, yeah. I mean, if I had a sister, I don't think that I'd be sleeping in the same bed with her if she was like, we were within like 12 months apart or something, or 4 years apart. That's just me. I don't think that I would be doing that. Now, we didn't see them doing anything, but the interaction of those two, sometimes they would come out of that room like the guy in like boxers and her like in like just like a thin bathrobe on, going in the kitchen like at 1:30 or 2 in the afternoon of a hard night of drinking in Williamsburg. It wasn't fucking worth it, man. It was weird, and that made it weirder, So, fuck. I don't know. There was a giant apartment. It was Williamsburg, Brooklyn. They were trust fund kids. And it was just like, there's more than one bedroom. Why they were living in there, sleeping in that room, I don't know. I think it was the sister's room that they slept in. If somebody has a explanation other than what I thought, and obviously the person that worked for me thought, I'd like to hear it, but that's really what we both thought. Really? Like, do people do that? Like, see, this boggles my mind, but I mean, statistically they do, but like a brother and sister, like, keep the wealth in the family? Really, Robert? Fuck, man. In the king and the English royalty, aren't they all sort of like, inbred to a point? Look, maybe a second cousin I find strange because there's other people. Why would you marry your second cousin? I find that strange. But I don't know, man. I feel bad for dogs raised in cities by people who shouldn't have pets. In cities, why do you have a problem with dogs living in cities? Because I'll tell you something about Great Danes and some of these large breed dogs. They do great in apartments. They do. So, you shouldn't have your dog roaming around in your backyard, and that's the indication that I get from your comments. Like, a dog needs to run free. You know what happens to dogs that are allowed to run around the farm? They get fucked up, they get lost, hit by cars. That's not how it's supposed to be. Your dog should be inside living with you. Let it out 3 or 4 times a day. That's it. So the dogs do good in apartments. There's no problems. They don't need a lot of space. They need a crate, which doesn't take up that much space. By leather collar. I use Bridgeport equipment, and they have good leather quality. Bridgeport equipment. Type in Bridgeport equipment dog leashes. They got real good 6-foot obedience leads, and they have leather collars. They have puppy leashes. They have a lot of leather goods. They also sell biothane. So if you don't want to use leather, if you're vegan, You can use biothane, which is like a simulated leather, and it functions very much like leather, but it can handle water better. So if you're working a dog in water, I just use the leather leash and fuck it. When it rots out, I replace it. But I do have biothane check cords. My first cousin is shockingly coming in the South among families with large amounts of generation. Double first cousins is shockingly common in the South among families with large amounts of generational land. Really? That's true? God, that's fucking weird, man. Biothane comes in different colors too. Yeah, it does. You're right. The only thing that I don't like about biothane is when it gets dirty. It's sort of like, and you don't have gloves on. It just sort of feels weird, dry in my hands. And also, man, if you're using a check cord, be careful. Like a real long line. Have gloves on, because if the dog starts going off, it's gonna burn your hands. And also, be careful if the dog's not fully trained. It's a rookie mistake. If the dog takes off after something and you're holding the check cord, you're gonna hit the ground. Don't try and wrap it around your foot or anything. If it's a Labrador and it's taking off after something, you could break your leg. Dogs have a lot of power, more than you think. God, really? Robert, how do you know? Double first cousins is shockingly common in the South among families with large amounts of generational land. I don't know why people are so wrapped up about what they have. You know, you can't take it with you. Who cares? I don't have a favorite dog to train. Whatever dog I'm training at the time. Man, that question, what is the easiest dog to train? For me to train any dog, they're all the same. Doesn't matter. Varying degrees. Hang on, I'll be right back. Maybe Robert will. I'll be right back. Maybe Robert will talk about incest in the South some more. Right? Because that is a fascinating subject. And in some parts of California, right, Robert? And I believe Arizona, it's very popular. Robert knows what I'm talking about. Actually, Alaska is supposedly high. I think Florida. Alaska, I know. On beagles that look for swirls in their chest? What? Kate Master, you're just talking a bunch of stuff. You look for swirls in their chest. What are you talking about? You're West Virginia and Arkansas in my travels, and Alaska. Arkansas, sure. One of the states with the lowest education rate and highest incest rate. I heard Florida. I looked it up years ago. Counter swirls on them are the easier. What are you talking about, man? Swirls on the chest. This is nonsense, man. It's a cowlick on their chest. Who cares? Who cares? I don't understand. Who cares? A lot of dogs have that. I don't get it. Is that something that you like to see or something? Like, I don't know. Beagles are cute as shit. Me and Destiny were talking about that. Like, there was a beagle. Oh yeah, on Dexter. And we're both like, God damn, man. I'll tell you what, an 8-week-old beagle puppy is about as cute as you can get. That's about as cute as a Labrador puppy. Golden puppies are beautiful. I'll tell you what's a really beautiful puppy is the Chesapeake Bay. Oh my God, they have these blue-green eyes, and then their eyes change into like golden. I had this Chesapeake Bay named Junior. Fuck. He was the most beautiful dog I've ever seen. He was fucking gorgeous. Do dogs have phobias? Yeah, they're created by humans. Not naturally. They're all created by humans because they're living with us. And the dog responds weird, doesn't want to do something, and then the person uses a consoling tone with the dog. It's walking over a grate or something. Oh, it'll be okay. You know, that's a phobia. That's created by a human. You know. But man, that Chesapeake Bay Junior, God, man, he was such a beautiful dog. I'd take him places and people would be like, oh my God, what's that? Is that a Labrador Golden or something like that? That's a beautiful puppy. Yeah, well, don't pet him. My golden retriever's eye color matches fur. Oh, you have a golden? Robert has a golden too. That's a good choice for like kids. You still got to train them though, Goldens, Labradors, but you have to train them and keep the kids away for a while. You know, don't let the kids climb on the dog. Get that dog trained. Like a lab, a 2-year-old lab. Pretty good around a kid, you know. A 6-month-old lab around a kid, not so much. They'll knock it down and then they'll be licking its face. You got to keep a leash on that dog, you know. Hang on, I'll be right back. The roads look better. I'm just sort of biding time. The roads aren't bad. I could drive in this no problem. I'm just procrastinating because I got to go to Schuyler County Treasurer and give him all my money. That's why I live stream a lot, because I'm giving him all my money. I got real far behind during the pandemic on my property taxes. It's a fact. So now you get all my money. I got dogs coming and everything. I have to get this place more organized before January because there's dogs coming from Indonesia. There might be a dog coming from New York City. 2 dogs, I believe, might come from New York City. And then he's still here. He's in he'll still be here. The poodle, he's gonna be a breeze though, I can already tell. The owners work with that dog. And even if Baby's still here, it'll be fine. Baby's in real good, she's fine. Got at least another month. 1 month old or less puppy. Please answer, I'm really concerned I have puppies. What? Good idea for a 1-month-old puppy or less. Explain your question about a 1-month-old puppy. What do you want to know about a 1-month-old puppy? Tell me what your question is. Good idea for a 1-month-old puppy. What are you talking about? Is one of the dogs from the city the people I referred? I don't know. Was it a guy that is on YouTube? I don't think he's going to have the money because he did a YouTube video that was like moving to New York with no money or something. But he says, but he could be a trust fund kid because he's moved to New York City and that costs a tremendous amount of money. Why are you giving a 1-month-old Cerelac good idea for a 1-month-old puppy or less? Why are you bottle feeding the dog? Are you bottle feeding the dog? Is that what you're doing? I don't know what you're doing. Are you bottle feeding dogs? Why are you bottle feeding the dogs? Where's the mother? Let the mother do it until they're weaned. Why are you bottle feeding them? Why are you bottle feeding dogs? You're gonna fuck them up. Where's the mother? Where's the mom? Hang on. Bottle feed human baby milk, giving mom. No! You don't give mom a rest. What's the matter with you? Keep the dogs on the tit, dude. Don't do that. Don't do that. What are you thinking, man? Don't get involved. Let the mother deal with the puppies, okay? You're not gonna help. You're gonna fuck it up, dude. You're gonna make those dogs a mess. You are. No, don't do that. I knew it was gonna be something like this. Did I answer your question? Giving the mother a rest? That's what they do, okay? No, idiot. Let the mother fucking feed the puppies. You don't give human fucking replacement milk to a dog. That's a dog. You would use dog replacement, right? Okay? And there's a mother and you want to like give the mother a rest? What's your fucking deal? What is your damage? You got to get involved, right? Is it just like the oxytocin's killing you? So you gotta get involved and help the puppies and give the mom a rest. Let the mother feed the puppies, dude. You're gonna screw them up. Why would you be giving human replacement milk anyway? If like the mother died and you had to bottle feed the dog, which those dogs will be screwed up, you'd use replacement milk for a dog, dummy. They make that. You're in India. They make that. Okay? You can buy that in India. Really? You want to give the mom a rest and bottle feed the puppies? You think that that's going to be better than letting the mother deal with it? Man, you people are just fucking ridiculous. You're going to screw the dogs up. You're going to screw up their behavior for their entire life, and those puppies are going to be impossible when they get older. You're going to screw up the social skills. All the social skills those puppies get are with the mom and the litter. Leave them alone, dick. Leave them alone. Stop being a jerk. Well, why are you going to use replacement milk anyway? Didn't I answer your question? Don't give the mom a rest. Everybody's saying, that's why I thought it would be a good idea. It's a terrible idea. Other people in the chat were like, no, let the mom do it. What's the matter with you, dude? What is the matter with you? Robin needs to be removed, I think, right? Yep, you gotta go. Robin sounds moronic. You sound like either a troll or an idiot. You know, there's no helping you. I don't know. Should you? What do you want me to tell you what to do? Oh, anybody that has a 7-month-old puppy that wants to get another puppy that is not a professional is an idiot. If Robert Masters wants to have 2 puppies from a different litter, right? Not from the same litter, he's a dog trainer. He can do it. You people that don't know anything about dogs, but you want to get a second puppy, you can't get the first one trained. You don't even have enough sense. It's not even about they're 2 years old. It's about they don't even have enough sense to make sure that the first one is doing good and totally trained. Well, you with the replacement milk are just removed. We answered your question, and you're just still asking if it's okay. You just won't shut up. You know, you just won't be quiet. I answered your question. I said, let the mother do it. And is it safe? That's replacement milk for a human being, dummy. They have different nutritional needs than a dog. Okay? Do you understand that? They're 2 different species, and you're asking the stupid question that I said, don't give the mother a rest because she's the mother. That's what she does. And you're like, you want to get involved. You're going to help the mother? Do you know what the father dog does? Domestic father? Nothing. Nothing. They don't do shit. Okay? They don't do shit. Do you know what the male wolf would do? Maybe bring home some food to the bitch. That's it. He doesn't help nurse the puppies, jerk. You are a mess in India. You are an absolute mess. Not everybody in India is dog stupid. I've had several conversations. I was dealing with this one guy, not recently, but before. There's a dog trainer. I train dogs in India. I like your channel, and you sort of do it like me. Not everybody's an idiot, okay? This guy is a mess, just like a lot of people in the United States are a mess, and all over the world. They just can't get it. Yeah, I've said this before. Like, if there was an IQ test on animal husbandry, some people would score higher than others, right? Some people would be, you know, on the mentally challenged level, but still have, like, if they took a regular IQ test, you know, it could be like above average. It's amazing. Some people are really animal stupid. Some people just have like more of a interest in it, so and stuff makes sense, so they educated themselves and weeded out the bullshit, not stuff that they want to hear. Like if I would have said to this idiot, yeah, use human replacement milk on the dog, so he'd do it. It wouldn't make any sense to him, you know? It wouldn't, you know, oh yeah, okay, great. Like, who would ask that question? Oh, we don't have it in India. Bullshit, you do. And you certainly could get on Amazon or whatever and have it shipped to you. So I don't believe you. And the fact that the mother's still there, you want to give her a rest, is just like, you do not get it. You want to give her a rest? She's doing her job. She's raising the puppies, but you want to help her raise the puppies? I didn't even, as soon as my son Solar was born, my pigeon son, I let Remy feed him. I wasn't getting involved. I did my part as the dad holding the egg and keeping it warm when she took a rest. I didn't get involved. I let Remy do the feeding. No, but you wanna be the surrogate mother in India. Don't they have like that like the fake boob or something so the guy can experience breastfeeding the baby? Maybe you could get one of those, with the puppy. But here's the deal. People always bottle feed kittens and puppies long. I've done it. I worked at an animal shelter. You don't do it how you think you do it, okay? So think about it this way. The puppy or the kitten is sort of like crawling on its belly up to the tit, right? The mother sort of like rolls a little bit over on her side, right? But the human being gets the puppy or the kitten to aspirate by holding the kitten or the puppy on their back and doing it like this. I've seen it in New York City. I've stopped and said, hey, you're doing that wrong with a kitten and pit puppies. You're doing that wrong, What? What do you mean? Think about it. It just takes a little bit of thought. It just takes a little bit of thought. Dogs don't drink on their back like that, They're not. That's not the way you do it. You're gonna get the animal to aspirate. You get water in their lungs, they're gonna die. Okay. Fucking people, man. I haven't done that in years, by the way. I worked at the shelter, and animals would come in that needed to be bottle fed. And, you get sent home sometimes. Oh, yeah, okay, I'll volunteer. And lose sleep for no money, I worked as this one animal shelter. It was a non-kill shelter, making pittance, but they paid me cash. That's what they were like. Yeah, but we pay you cash. You know. Yeah, yeah. But I'm not a pigeon, so it was better if she did it. I don't have a little beak. Ow. I'm a human. I know to stay out of it. And a female pigeon can handle it. They're good. She was a great mom. No, I don't have any pigeon milk, and I worry that you even say that because people will think it's fucking milk. It's not. It's not. When she's saying pigeon milk, it isn't like milk, like from a mammal. So if you find a baby bird, you're gonna kill it if you give it milk. Okay, pigeon milk is something totally different. Okay? So that's what it's called, but it's not. It's not milk. It's this stuff that they produce, but it's not. Don't get confused. See, people will think that. You know that. You work with pigeons. You know this. People hear that. Oh, really? They pigeon milk? Pigeons make milk for their babies, and then they find a baby pigeon, and they're going and heating up fucking cow milk or something and kill it. I always use like say I find a pigeon. I even what was the last pigeon I had to deal with that I found it's probably Hemiwinkle. So I use a lot of just sort of already hydrated things like if I have a PMV pigeon, I use stuff like black-eyed peas because it's hydrated like that. Like I'll feed them that way, or kernel of, cooked corn, or maybe some cooked green peas. It's already hydrated, so because that's a big issue with PMV. It's you gotta get them hydrated, and you're exhausted because it's round the clock care with a PMV pigeon. It's could go on forever. It seems. I always notice if you can keep the PMV pigeon alive for 3.5 weeks, it starts looking better. At 4 weeks, really looks better, and by 6 weeks, they're sort of functioning pretty good. Um, some birds, they get that shit if they're real young. They don't ever, they're always sort of screwed up. Um, it's a bitch. Right, Khaki? Cat. Any more dog questions? I gotta go pay my property taxes so this house doesn't go on the chopping block for nothing, you know, for nothing. And then we're out on the street. Um, you'll listen. Just hope your other pigeons have it because they're gonna get it. That PMB spreads like wildfire. I've tried it. Man. Changing clothes, whatever. They're gonna get it. But once they've had it, they seem to like Remy didn't get it, and she was like right around Solar. Hemiwinkle didn't get it because both those birds had it. Older birds handle it better than younger birds. Solar got it at like 30 days old, 31 days or something. I was flipped out, man. I was like, God, we got to get out of this house. It's like there's disease in here, and I can go upstate and I can separate them. And, oh my God, it's difficult, real difficult. I was so flipped out. I was like, not Remy and Solar, like that. I brought it in, actually. I brought it in, not thinking. There was a bird, a pigeon, real pretty pigeon. There's a lot of lofts in Brooklyn. It was a real pretty pigeon, and I tried to help it. I thought it had salmonella, and salmonella is sort of easier to deal with than PMV. And then I get it in there, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, oh fuck. I put that pigeon down myself because I was like, it's fucked up, and I didn't want to get everybody else sick, but I got everybody else sick anyway. It was real tough putting it down too. If you've ever had to put a bird down, it sucks. Yeah, but salmonella is still brutal, but it's like that's not as communicable. It's not. So if you keep them a distance, that PMV virus spreads like fucking shit. It was terrible. It was terrible, man. That was one of the worst days I've ever had. I'm like making this choice. It was the middle of the night. I'm trying to find somebody that'll deal with a bird. They wouldn't deal with it, because I was like, I think it has PMV. They're like, well, we're gonna have to put it down. Fuck. I still remember that. It was difficult, man. I didn't want to give up on the bird, but the bird was really sick, and I was afraid for my flock. They got it anyway. I'm talking, that bird was in my house for 45 minutes. Egg-bound is horrible too. I've learned to get the egg out without cracking it. Yeah, that's horrible, but if the bird has plenty of calcium, they don't really get egg-bound, though. That's the way I see it. Give them extra calcium. Don't you think? Like, isn't that the main cause of egg-bound? Tell me, Pigeon Lady. It's a worry of mine, too. But I always make sure that they just have real healthy-looking eggs and give them extra calcium. A new rescue that already got an egg stuck. And low calcium is the cause, yeah. So just I gotta get calcium for khaki today, by the way. Hang on. I'll be right back. Hang on. Yeah, with any egg-producing birds, I jack their calcium up a lot. Now, Kaki's on feed, and I still she's on Purina, but I still give her extra calcium, which I'm out of. I got to get that today. I need to write that on my hand or something so I do not forget. Because I need calcium for CAC. I got to pay my property taxes so we don't lose the house. What else? There was something else. Destiny will probably remember. That's it. I can't spend a lot of money. Grit also. Yeah, I'll give CAC some grit right now, actually. Grit's hugely helpful. Whoops. Where's the fucking grit, man? CAC, where'd I put the grit? Well, I'll be hoisted by my own petard. There's the grit. You want some grit, CAC? Here you go, babe. Here you go. There's some grit. Want some grit? Yeah, you can have a little bit more. You know what grit is great is pigeon grit, man. Some of that pigeon grit smells so delicious. It smells like licorice. God damn it, that stuff is good. This doesn't really smell good. But the licorice smelling pigeon grit, man, I love that. The expensive stuff, real good. I wonder if I got a bag of that over here. Hang on. No. Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll try a little pigeon grit. I think I better give the pigeons this baby grit. See, like this is pigeon grit. That's pigeon grit. And then I still have some. Oh, she likes that. We still have grit from when she was at a certain point. You can give the duckling grit, so it's like real small grit. We still got that. Those ducks, those dabbling ducks, man, they will like turn upside down so you see their tail like a mallard. And they're fucking taking their beak and looking for shit on the bottom, right? Right? And they're taking up grit doing that. They're taking up sand. I can't eat their eggs. I feel weird. She used to pop out 4 eggs out of a month. I never seen so many from a pigeon. Every time she hit 3 or more yolks. Remy, for 4 years, would crank out a couple eggs a month. That's why when Chip laid the egg on them, I knew that Chip wasn't gonna fucking sit on it. I gave it to Remy because I'm like, here. And once she had Solar, she stopped popping out eggs. That bird wanted to have a baby bad, you know. Seriously. Khaki wants to have a baby bad too. And I can't, you know, it's exhausting being a father. You know, it is. I mean, I could get Khaki a chicken egg, or maybe even a duck egg. You could buy duck eggs, fertilized duck eggs. They sell on Craigslist. Even Stromberg's will send them to you in the mail. Like I think you buy 6 of them, and I could like take one. She didn't really sit on the eggs though, but she didn't really use a nest. Like, you know, if we had a nest, she might sit on them. I could hold it a lot, like I did for Remy. I'm a fairly good dad. Peter Petro just lays empty, tiny, air-filled eggs. Really? What's that? Khaki's under a year. She might be 8 months old or something. Khaki's not old. Hey, Khaki, how old are you? She said about 8 months. She thinks it's funny. She, you know, it's a myth that like their poop stinks, right? That when the duckling is young, like, and you're using bedding, that bedding will get wet and shit because the water, it smells. But you know, her poop smelled for a while. I swear to God, it was because she had Giardia or something. Because she came from Tractor Supply. I thought about just treating her for Giardia, but then like Teresa was here, Destiny's cousin, and Teresa was going, man, that cat farted or something like that. It wasn't the cat, it was Khaki's poop. And then I put 2 and 2 together, and I'm like, man, that is Khaki that smells. So I put Khaki on metronidazole. Her poop doesn't stink. So, like, we have a pen here that we can keep her in to sort of corral her in so she won't, like, just eat whatever. And if I mop it out once a day, it's fine. It's easy to clean up. I had a bunch of insulation in here going to the attic. And like what I'll do is I'll move her into there, that hallway. And I come move her in there. You know, it was a real drag. So I got the insulation up last night. I was fucking exhausted. I'm like, I have to do this because if I just stay up on it daily, Khaki's cage, no problems. It stays real clean. If this was like a tile floor, it's a wood floor. It's an old wood floor. If this was a tile floor, it'd be real easy to clean up. So maybe I put a platform someplace that there's like, hey, what are you doing, Bucket? Hang on. What cat? Oh, he's sitting on a bag. At least my cat stopped making sweet love last night. They just couldn't quit. I don't know what that was about. I have no idea. Nobody's buying my t-shirts on Teespring. I hope that's not a bad sign because Christmas is coming up. I mean, I'm selling some, but like the last couple days, nobody bought anything, which is shocking because we were pushing the shit out of it. You know, those are great Christmas gifts. I have hundreds of designs. Last day for my art, or last week for my art show. The cat isn't interested in hunting the birds. No, man, no. They're fine. They're great. Thank you. No, they don't do that. Bucket lived with me since he was a kitten. Kittles doesn't seem to have too much interest in that either. Yeah, I'm sure there is. You'd have to go through the hundreds of designs, though. There's, you know, one with Remy's big eyeball. Solar's in there. I'm making one right now. I finally am figuring out how to do, like, you know, on Photoshop, like you can take an area and make it negative space, whatever that's called, transparent. I'm finally figuring out how to do that. All I had to do is watch a tutorial. I didn't know how to do fucking on Paint, cut and paste. And for some reason, I didn't go to fucking YouTube. For 3 or 4 years, I had to have like this dream and an epiphany before I figured out how to do it. What? You don't know how to do something? Go to YouTube, Peter. You know? Everybody knows that. So I went yesterday and looked, and you can, on Paint, you can make that negative space, but you can't save it. So you got to do it in Paint 3D, which I tried doing Paint 3D, but it's more complicated. So I'm like, why am I doing this? I've been using just Paint. So I'm going to sort of migrate into Paint 3D because that negative space thing's great. And Paint 3D has this thing where like, it'll kind of cut it out real quick, where what I do to cut shit out is like, I take the cursor, it go all around it. That's how I've been doing it, manually. I'm a boomer, man. I do stuff, it drives Destiny crazy, I can tell. I can't, it doesn't come to mind, but I know that she's like, I've seen her laugh at me about shit like that. Like, she just bursts out laughing, like, you know, like, and then she's trying to tell me, but it's just like, it reminds me of this. There was this guy across the street, Dave. He's gone now, right? But nice guy, I liked him. Real good at construction. So he'd come over, like when I'm trying to put the roof on the back, and he's trying to explain something to me. And I'm like, 12 foot on center. I don't know what he's talking about. And I'm just saying, what, Destiny? Yeah, she's 21. So she gets all this shit. You know, she's writing code and shit. She's writing code and building a website. I couldn't do that. But like Dave's talking to me like about construction stuff, and I'm like I'm supposed to understand what he's talking about. It was 2 years later, I'm like, oh, I finally figured out what Dave was talking about, 12 foot on center. You know? What do you mean only 21? She's an old soul. She's not really 21, she's a vampire. She's a vampire, so she's stuck in the 21-year-old body, and let me tell you, it's not too bad living around a vampire that looks like that. It's my roommate. She's a vampire. Looks like a model. Is a model. Yeah, but not a poser. A real vampire. But she hasn't bit me yet. She won't. She knows better. She knows better to try to bite me. I have my own powers. I could become Duck Man, you know, start flapping my wings. How old am I? How old do you think I am? Take a guess. Don't tell her, and don't Google it. How old do you think I am? You won't offend me. Try and make an honest guess. I'll give you a hint. In Walmart with a mask on, somebody thought I was an old woman. No, I don't care. Let her ask. Of course. Oh, 42, please. Come fucking on. You think you're just being nice. I think that you think I'm 42. Thank you, Ria G. Yes. Ria G's much closer than you are. 42. My God. 42, really. No, that's my honest response. You're such a liar. You lie. You lie. Toxic nailed it. Toxic nailed it. But Toxic knows how old I am. No, I'm not 52. I'm 58. 42. I got the body of an 18-year-old, it's true. Except for the hip. The hip, I have the hip and knee of a 110-year-old. But my upper body, let me put it like this. 6 months in the hospital, sudden death, okay? I'd be a superhero, except I would have to do it in a wheelchair. It's 20 years, isn't it? It's about 42, 52. That's 10. And then what? Like, it's 15 years almost. I'm only 10 years older than you, Richie, is that right? I think me and Rhea G are contemporaries. We're close. Aren't we, Rhea G? I think we're close. We're both 75, about. Start having reishi. I have reishi mushroom in there. I make tea. I know, but people don't change much between 42 and 58. I did. Yeah, we're close in age. Rhea G, do you remember? Well, you were in Canada. Maybe it wasn't a big deal, but the Apollo missions. Do you remember those? Were you old enough to remember that shit? Seeing them walk on the moon, or, I mean, that was a big deal in the United States. I figured it was a big deal all around the world. Increase your dosage of what? Oh, the reishi? Oh, you do remember it. Yeah, it was a big deal, right? It amazes me we went up there, man. I'm gonna cut this shit off, and if I might go in after I give all my money to Schuyler County Treasurer. I'll have $20 and have them cut my fucking hair off. And I have polyurethane in my hair back here. I don't listen to Joe Rogan. I think he's an asshole. He took shit off my video, turned it into a meme, got millions of views, didn't give me any credit. So no, I don't like Joe Rogan. I think he's a dick. Robert would be like, dude, why don't you listen to Rogan? Why don't you, Somebody contacted me once and asked me if I wanted to be on his program, and I said no. I'll tell you the one that I'm kicking myself about is H3. They contacted me. He contacted me. And I wasn't watching it at that point. I didn't know who it was. And then I couldn't go. It was about the same time that as iDubbbz wanted to do something. I just couldn't do it. The house was a wreck. I had to turn him down. I turned down iDubbbz because I didn't want to look like an asshole, though. You know how iDubbbz makes people look like odd. I didn't want to be airsoft fatty. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. I like him, but no, I'm not making a podcast. What am I doing right now? Why would I make a podcast? This is very similar, isn't it? Why would I do it? But H3 contacted me either before or after. I can't remember. I was dealing with iDubbbz. And then right after I said, I can't do it. I got all these animals. He's like, we'll fly you out here to LA. You'll do the podcast. You'll be our guest. And I'm like, right after I did it, and I said, I can't do it. I sent it. I said to myself, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And I looked up who it was, and I'm like, oh, fuck. It was like millions of subs and shit. And I like his show. So I would be more inclined to have done that than letting iDubbbz come here and make some kind of thing that clearly was not a collaboration. It was iDubbbz making stuff. He didn't want to hear my ideas, so Yeah, H3H3. I like it. I think it's a good show. Um, I would go on it now. I would have gone on it then. I just didn't know who it was, and I really didn't have the opportunity to leave. It was just me and the dogs and the birds. There was nobody to watch them. Now they might do it. I think a lot of shit's done via Skype. Um, so I did. I did feel bad about that. The iDubbbz thing, I don't, because I kept saying to iDubbbz, um, I had all these ideas. He didn't want to do them. And he was talking to all my friends and lining this up, and I got the impression he was going to do this, like, having my friends show up at my door and shit. Like this, like, surprise thing. And I'm like, I don't do that. I'm a performer. Let me know what's going on. I have ideas. I don't want to be like, oh, here's my fucking friends. I still, to this day, I didn't even ask my friends what he was asking or what his plans were. I was just like, man, Ian, I can't do it. I can't do this. It's stressing me out, and I don't want to look like an idiot. I don't want to be airsoft fatty, I don't want to look odd. I can make myself look odd, is the point. I don't need somebody to take that out of my hands and make me look odd. Do you know what I mean? Like somebody putting some kind of twist on me that isn't factual. That's bullshit. I don't need that. I'm a comedian, man. I'm fine with looking like a jackass as long as I'm doing it to myself. I don't need anybody making me look like a dick. I can do it, and I'm fine with it, but I don't need anybody doing that. So, but a nice guy, nice enough guy. I haven't watched this stuff in a while, but I liked interacting with them, but it just wasn't a good idea. I remember when I was training Leo at the time, and Leo's owner said, Peter, I think that was probably a wise move. He would have made you look, how he wanted you to look, and you'd not like that. So I already had one podcast do that to me a long time ago. And I don't listen to myself after I do the show. I don't need to. I don't see how so somebody that was taking clips, I just assumed that they were, doing on the up and up, and they're being nice to me through emails. So I'd call in. They wanted, call in about, and we'll talk and stuff like that. They were taking my shit and changing it so I sound a certain way. It was fucked up. I would never deal with those people again. So that podcast, I just, no, I'll do a TV show or radio show, but I'd do a podcast, but it can't be like that. It has to be like live and them asking me questions. Like the last thing I was on was like a Fox TV, like it was Water's World. That's fine. You want me to talk about dogs or whatever? That's fine. But I'm not gonna be in some situation. Well, if somebody wanted to do a TV show, they could edit it however they wanted. But I'd be working with them. It would be a collaboration. If it's not going to be a collaboration, that was the problem with Ian. It wasn't going to be a collaboration. He made it real clear. So, what do I mean? We can do what? You can earn more money. Please consider Mr. Peter as a dog lover. I beg you, Spotify. I know what a podcast is. I'm not an idiot. I've been on podcasts that are real popular. I'm not doing a podcast. Why would I do a podcast when I'm already doing this? Podcast is like this without visuals, right? Wouldn't you rather have the visuals? And if you want to listen to me and listen to this, look, I'm already at 130 minutes. 130 minutes. Last night I did 235 minutes last night, plus stuff during the day. If you wanted to listen to me, you can listen to YouTube. You don't have to watch it. So why would I do that? it just doesn't compute with me. Maybe I could take the audios and throw them on Spotify, sure, but it's more lucrative for you, maybe. Maybe for you. I'm overworked and underpaid. Okay? So for me to just say, oh, I'll make more money with a podcast, it's more work. I have dogs coming in January. I got to get this place cleared up. I'm stressed. I'm fucking going to the treasurer's office in about a half an hour, giving them all my shit. The last thing I need is more stress. The podcast, starting something new, is stress. And when I'm doing that, like when I was doing TikTok, I wasn't doing this. And TikTok was a joke. Thanks for the $6, man. I wasn't doing this. Ask anybody that, ask Ria G knows this. Like, I was trying to build up TikTok, which was going great. Find help. I live with someone that, Destiny. What do you mean find help? You have to pay help. You can't just find help, okay? Hire a trainer? What are you talking about, man? I'm the dog trainer. Who's gonna do it like me? Hire a trainer? What are you? This is nonsense. You're under the assumption that, like, I have all the energy in the world, and I don't. And I have to take all my energy and focus it, and this seems like a good bet. YouTube. TikTok was a joke. She has shit going on. If she wants to come out here and fucking live stream, she can. She took all the dogs out this morning for me. I couldn't get out of bed. I was beat. She got them all outside except the 2 clients. It's easy for you to say your life would be easier and you would make more money if you did this. But to do this, it is more work. What do you mean? Like Teespring? I got Teespring. Right? That generates money. I make art. I'm not selling anything at my, I don't make any, I take a bath on my art. That's true. That's money just like, I've never recouped what I put into it. That's for sure. That's just how it is. But like my dad said, Peter, you got this much invested in art, you're not gonna quit. I said, well, yeah, but that's not the reason why I'm not gonna quit. I can't, I'm addicted to making art. I have to make art. But the notion that like just make more revenue streams is like, Teespring's work, dude. Teespring's work. Even just like posting it, is work. It's all exhausting, okay? So you're under the assumption that like, it's easy to sit in the armchair and say, do this and this. But I still have to train the dogs. I had to clean the duck's cage. This place needs to be more organized before January. For Private Wealth in Dubai for 6 years, worked as a consultant. I know how to scale business. I will start my dog training channel once I know and trained enough. Hey, you want to be a dog trainer? What are you talking about, dude? This is nonsense. You were an investment banker in Dubai? And your dream is to be a dog trainer, and you're trying to tell the dog trainer, right, that actually knows what they're doing, how to do their business, which mine is dog training, comedy, and art. I'm telling you something, dude. Yesterday I worked all day, okay? I worked all day. I think maybe I made $15 in, doing this, which is fine. It's fine. Some days I do great at this. But, that's it. This is one of my jobs, is doing this live stream, which is like a podcast. Yeah, it is a business. Live streaming is a business. It's all related. It's Peter Kane. It comes under the heading of Peter Kane. So it's advertisement for me with the dog training stuff and art and comedy. So, I mean, there's a reason why, people contact me about doing, a reel and shit like that. Or like, somebody wants to do this, keeps talking about doing a pilot. But it's all related. But man, I work my fucking ass off and I'm not getting rich, okay? So I'm glad that you worked in Dubai. You probably have money to be able to not be an investment banker, right? You had your hedge money still. What do what do you care? What are you trying to find out how much I make from YouTube? Not a lot. Not a lot, okay? It's not what you think. Not with 180,000 subs, dude. What do you think? You're gonna start a YouTube channel and you're never gonna have to work again? Let me tell you something, it's work. It's work. It is, it's work. So you thinking that you're gonna get the golden ticket on YouTube. You know how long I've had this channel? 11 years. I don't give up. That's my deal, is I don't give up. All right? So to think you're gonna get the golden ticket, more than likely you're not. I have more videos than PewDiePie. I have more merch than PewDiePie. He has over 100 million subs or some shit. And I got 180,000. You tell me. And you're talking about how will you scale it? It's just I don't want to be offensive to you, but it's just like, you're an armchair quarterback. We don't even know who you are. We don't know if you were an investment banker in Dubai. That's what you tell us. Okay? That's what you tell us. You're clearly not rolling in the dough because you're in the chat, but you didn't super chat anything. So, and you're talking about being a YouTuber. As soon as you learn dog training and get more dog training business, right? Like you have more experience. It's nonsense, dude. That's like saying my hypothetical, well, this is true. I'm going to be an astronaut. And that's the goal that I'm gonna have to do. That's what I wanna do. You look up to me as a mentor. That's great, I appreciate that. But I mean, it's all nonsense, okay? You say I would never lie to you. We don't know you, dude. We don't know you. And your idea of your suggestions are just like, oh, just start a podcast, you'll do better. We've discussed doing Twitch, okay? I have a Twitch channel, Peter Kane Dog Training 1. Once again, that's work. We have green screen stuff ready to go, but right now it's more important to live stream. And after live streaming for hours on end, it's hard to make film. I'm tired, man. I still have to work dogs, man. You're just like, start a podcast. You're living in Disneyland in your life. I have real life shit going on here, man. It's ridiculous, man. If you listen to me, you look at me as a mentor, you should listen to me and what I'm saying to you. Life is rough. And things don't always go the way that you planned, but you keep going. And yeah, you might want to rethink your idea, but it's better to stick with something that sort of works. And this does sort of work. That's why you delegate? What, you told me that I should hire a trainer. Who does it like me? You delegate in dog training? You said that you don't know anything about dog training, and now you're saying you delegate. Now you're telling us that you're a dog trainer. You said you don't have enough experience. but I have a lot of business experience in my failures, right? You can learn from failures just as easy as you can learn from success. I agree. But you're talking hypothetical so you can take more dogs. It's all work, dude. I had a pet service where I had people working for me and it's miserable because they don't show up. And you know who has to do it? Me. Okay? Dude, listen. Dude, listen, really? Why am I supposed to listen to you? You're telling me that you want to be a dog trainer, you want to have a YouTube, and now you're telling me that you delegate your dog training to someone else. We don't even know who you are. Dog training is my new career. It's my passion. Yeah, but you said you don't really have any experience doing it. You're talking about this is what you want to do. This is what you want to do. Right? It's your new passion. It sounds like a hypothetical situation. Okay? You don't know anything about it. You're also talking BS that you delegate. No, you clearly are trying to teach me. You're trying to tell me how I should run my business. You're telling me to hire people. Destiny's here. You haven't seen her working with dogs before? Destiny's here. You know she works with dogs, right? Yeah, it's him just talking shit. Destiny's here. We split it. I gotta go. This guy's bumming me out. He's ridiculous. You know. Oh yeah, okay, you got it all figured out, you know? We do. We do, Dick. What do you think? She's just working with dogs on videos? Just for what? 'Cause she's hot? If she couldn't work with the dog, she wouldn't be on the video. Yeah, he doesn't understand. It's like he doesn't hear a damn thing that I say. Have you ever seen her work with a dog? She wouldn't be working with any dogs if she wasn't competent around animals, right? You don't hire somebody just because they're attractive. But just, you know, we're partners, man. That's two people. It's still a lot of work. It's two people. What do you want me to hire, 20? I don't have a facility, and I don't want a facility for a reason. Okay? You do your hypothetical dog training business how you want, and you get your podcast going and your YouTube how you want, okay? And we'll do ours our way, okay? There's multiple dog training videos with Tracer, okay? So you've just clearly just shown up, okay? She's worked with Tracer a bunch. You've just showed up on this channel. You don't know anything about the channel or me, clearly. And I don't think, you admitted you don't know anything about dog training, but you're already gonna be a dog trainer. I don't even know if you own a dog, dude. No, that's not the way it works. I just don't go on people's, didn't you hear me? Yeah, he's a troll. I agree. I gotta go. Thank you, Ria G. Yeah, he's just. Yeah. You're bothering me. So, I agree. Thank you, Ria G. Right. We've had enough. Thank you, Ria G. Being the voice of reason. He's a troll. I've seen him on other channels. I gotta go down to Watkins Glen to do something important. Right, and get calcium for my duck and the cats and whoever else needs it. I'll see you. Thank you, Ria. Yeah, Somebody that's doing that, that's just talking nonsense, like, they just want attention. It doesn't even care what you say or you answer. They'll repeat themselves. They just, like, are an attention whore, and they're just talking crap. Like, just like, oh, do this. Oh, okay. He's probably he's probably like 15 years old, you know? I'll see ya. Thanks. I'll see you guys. Bye.